not, they're not 6 property. Based on those drawings. Yeah, the easement and an agreed drawing, which there's not an agreed drawing. Both parties didn't agree, therefore it should be done. You know what I'm saying?
Please stand for a moment of silence and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader, advertised on January 9, 2014. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and prominently posted on the Municipal Public Bulletin Board and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk, informing the public of the time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. At this time, again, I would like to remind you to please put your cell phones either off or on vibrate. If you must take a call, please do so out in the hall. It would be greatly appreciated. Roll call, Ms. Ariano.
Mayor Petracchi.
Here.
Council President Tarantino. Here. Councilman Martin.
Here.
Councilman Matthews.
Here.
Councilman Yersted.
Here.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Here.
And Councilman Disco.
Here.
Thank you. Minutes, please, Ms. Ariano.
Regular meeting of the Mayor and Council held on July 22nd, 2014. And workshop session of the Mayor and Council held on July 22nd, 2014.
Are there any corrections or changes? May I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented, Mayor.
Second.
Second. Ms. Ariano, communications, please.
New Jersey State League of Municipalities Mayor and Tax Advisory.
Received and filed.
Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, County Ordinances.
Received and filed.
Borough Sewer Authority, letter about flow rights.
Received and filed.
And the Borough Roseville Park, resolutions.
Received and filed.
Borough Planning Board minutes.
Received and filed.
Comcast channel changes. No, that's not on there, sorry.
No.
That's from last time.
That's
Or left over on my,
Yeah.
left over on my paperwork. I did.
Okay.
Delete it. That's all on the correspondence.
Okay, thank you. We do not have any ordinances this evening. We'll move right to committee reports. Police, Councilman Martin.
Yes, Mayor, I do have a report. In July, Chief Underhill was made aware of a military surplus website for law enforcement agencies to procure new and used military equipment at little or no cost. The Garwood Police Department acted quickly and were one of the first agencies to be cleared for access to the site. After reviewing available equipment, Lieutenant Wright put in for and was cleared for several vehicles and equipment acquisitions. Last week, Chief Underhill and several members of the department responded to Fort Dix and after examination picked up 2 military version Humvees in excellent shape with low miles, along with 4 U-mounted tires. Each Humvee is valued at approximately $40,000 and the tires and rims at about $5,000. These items came to Garwood at no cost. A 2.5-ton transport truck, although a good asset to have, was decided against as just too big for our purposes. The Humvees are military version diesel style, 4-wheel drive units that come with high ground clearance and are capable of traveling into and through 6 feet of water. These special service units are not for everyday use. They'll be deployed as needed for the OEM purposes and severe weather conditions such as heavy snow, flooding, or hurricanes. They are also a great public relations centerpiece for the department and borough. Special thanks to Captain Stouffer, Lieutenant Wright, and patrol officers Klingsord and Wright for their time and efforts. Additional equipment being looked into which might benefit Garwood as a whole include a backhoe equipped with a loader, a trailer, high-capacity water pump, generators, and other heavy equipment. Again, these items came to us at little or no cost. This is the U.S. government returning taxpayer-funded equipment to the state, county, and local agencies. I just think that we really owe another debt of gratitude to our great police department for this fine piece of work. I mean, we can get some equipment here, especially if you notice from this report, heavy snow, flooding, or hurricanes that these OEM, purposes will allow us to fulfill. So thanks, Chief, and all of your fine work with your guys to get this done. That is all from my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Question? I'm sorry, question. At this time, is it appropriate to read a negotiations update on the police contract, or is that some other? Okay, I have a report there also.
Can I get an idea, how broad is this going to be? Because I'm not sure that I would suggest that you report on the negotiations.
I'm guiding him with that, just
Okay.
letting them know they met. It's very, very,
Sorry.
very simple.
Thank you.
Broad status update for the residents. The negotiations committee met on August 4th with the PBA attorney to discuss strategies and the plan for negotiating the 2015 PBA contract. The committee is very confident for a successful conclusion to the process. The next step is for the attorney to prepare a proposal for the meetings that will commence in September. That is all from my report, Mayor.
Thank you. You have heard the report of police. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Mayor, I do have just one comment. I just want to say thank you to Chief Underhill and your police department for acquiring this equipment. I have to say, I've been sitting up here since you've become chief, and I'm just impressed time and time again from the $40,000 grant you were able to get us a couple years ago with your staff for some much needed emergency equipment, as well as the equipment we recently received from the city of Borough. I mean, these are huge cost savings for the borough, and it just shows your commitment to doing the best job you possibly can for Garwood, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
If I may, ditto on everything that Sarah just said, but I'd like to ask a question. Where would we be storing all this equipment that you just acquired? At no cost to Garwood, thank you very much.
Right now, they're down, excuse me, the DPW yard in the back.
And we have room for all that?
Right now we do.
Okay, thank you.
Depending on seasonal needs, we might have to move them around a bit, but they would be stored within the borough and secured. I'm also working now with the Westfield Armory. We might have a deal on something that we can manage with some maintenance on those.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Mayor. Chief, everything great also. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you if I knew a question I asked. I'm very glad to hear they're not being used on a daily basis. What are they, like 2 miles a gallon, or what are they?
They're diesel. I don't know what the
4
miles per gallon are. I have to look at the specs. I don't think they're too bad, but
I guess you can ask if they're electric.
I knew they weren't.
yeah, they're not. They're not
Use them sparingly. They didn't supply you with gas for the year, did they?
No, they didn't. But if it's on the list, I'll make sure I put in for it.
Thank you very much.
With that.
Did you get a full tank?
On one of them, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We've had motions been made and seconded. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public Health, Councilwoman Tedesco.
No report, Mayor. Meeting is next month.
Streets and roads.
No report, Mayor.
Councilman Neerstadt, no report. Fire, Councilman Matthew.
Thank you, Mayor. In the month of July, there were a total of 21 incidents, including 3 mutual aid calls, for a total of 303 total man-hours for the department. That is all from our report.
You have heard the report of fire. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Second.
Any comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Finance, Councilwoman Disco.
No report, Mayor.
Buildings and Grounds, Councilman Petrozelli.
No report, Mayor.
Laws and License, Council President Tarantino.
No report, Mayor.
Recreation, Councilman Petrozelli.
No report, Mayor. Meeting is next Wednesday.
Go to the senior.
Go to the senior, Committee on Aging, Council President Tarantino.
Mayor.
I have no report from the library, they don't meet until the fall. School Board Liaison, Councilwoman Tedisco.
No report, Mayor.
Roll. Celebration of Public Events and Holidays Liaison, Councilman Martin.
No report, Mayor.
Union County Air Traffic Noise Advisory Board Representative, Councilman Matthews.
No report, Mayor. Meeting should be the end of next month.
Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative, Councilman Petrozelli.
Yes, I have a report. Thank you, Mayor. The monthly construction meeting was held today, August 8th at Borough Hall. In attendance were Borough Administrator, DPW Superintendent, professionals for the project. Discussion took place on the standing water in the outfield as well as on the basketball court. We also discussed the railings for the deck and for the stairs at the new building. The roofing contractor is scheduled for next week to come back in and finish up. We're still waiting for the final doors to be delivered so they can be installed. The phone company is scheduled for August 15th to install service at the site, and that's all for my report, Mayor.
Thank you. You have heard the report of the Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know these doors were supposed to be in June, so why are we still waiting?
Why are we still waiting? It has to do with the mechanisms for the doors. Everything is internal, and I guess there was some discrepancy over the fabrication of the doors, so that's what's holding it up.
So do we have a date on when the doors are coming in?
As of the last meeting, it was supposed to be 7 weeks from that meeting, the council meeting. But as of right now, they don't have a date, a firm date when the doors will be in, and therefore they cannot give a schedule for it.
Is it that they have to make them for us,
They're
or
making the doors, yes.
they are making them? Okay, it's not just that we're still
It's not
having a
your-
discrepancy over what kind of order.
It's not your standard door that you can just go to any lumber supply and just pick them up. These are actually made or welded doors. All of the internal mechanisms.
And I know you've been on the phone, or should probably email a lot with the utility companies. Are we all set on that front?
Gas meter's set, the electric is in, phone service is coming up next,
Couple days from now?
on the 15th. The camera contractor, he just needs one more day basically to come in and finish, but he doesn't wanna come in until everything is done.
Okay.
So he just mounts his cameras and puts in his receivers, so, basically you won't see him up until the building is near completion and, paint's going up.
So the main issue is just the doors right now, getting them on site.
The doors are the issue because, they can't finish certain areas. But up until we get that, we've been asking for it for as long as we've been having meetings, and it's the same meeting month after month, we have the same discussions about certain things. Sheetrock has started, they did pick out paint colors, but that's about it.
One other question, the standing water on the outfield and basketball court, what was the story on that?
Basketball court, according to how they test a basketball court, it's called a bird bath test, where they fill the court with water, they wait so many hours with direct sunlight,
a certain temperature, and they actually go out with, you know, with a nickel, and they go out there and they test the height of the water if it's standing. They claimed that they did that, and there was some patching done. That's why they proceeded to paint the court. But I noticed from going down there that we could have a rainfall the night before, you come out and there's still water, and now it's in the center of the court. So it needs to be redone, and they are aware of it, it's just they haven't gotten together between the Kinsey Associates and Flanagan's that can get together to go through actually go into the test.
Right.
As far as the baseball field, I don't know if they're watering too much, but there is some standing water in the outfield. They did install drainage along the fence line. That does go to the catch basin that was always there. But they need to look into that to see why the water is not moving. So they need to get together on that as well. And they also need to take out a laser and actually shoot grades to make sure that the field is graded properly.
Well, it's at least positive that they will, it sounds like they're going to fix the issue at the basketball court, because I'd hate for them to leave and then we notice,
Well,
I mean, especially considering the time
I mean,
it's been.
and I think I speak for everybody up here, I mean, I won't accept something just to accept it, just to be done with it. I want it to be done perfect.
Right.
And for all this time, everything better be perfect. So
Right.
whatever the issue is, it needs to be resolved. So they are aware of it, everyone is aware of it, things will get, you know, fixed as they need to be. But they just need to get together on it.
One question real quick, what about the roof, the situation with the roof?
Well, the roofer said he's coming back next week. The problem now is most schools, because this is a public job, a lot of schools do their roofs over the
Right.
summer, and the roofer's been very hard to get. So, and the issue that, you know, why we're waiting for the roofer is the area around where the kitchen exhaust is.
Right.
You know, that was all up there.
Yeah.
So, but he is scheduled to come in next week. So.
Oh, okay.
The kitchen exhaust area has been resolved, so
That
now
has
we're
been
just waiting
resolved.
on the roofer. Okay.
And once the roof is 100%, then they can finish the sheet rock, because Cranford won't give a complete building and framing inspection until the roof is on. So-
All right.
But with these doors, I mean, you know, month after month, we're hearing, you know, is there anything we can do to build a fire under them? Are we just, are we doing anything, or are we just saying, okay, can't get the doors, gotta wait another month, all right? I mean, this has been going on for a long time. It just frustrates the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, to come to a meeting every month and have the same discussion for the past 2 years. You know, you'll feel my frustration, because there was a meeting back in February to discuss this, to hash out any issues with the doors. So,
Contractor claims it's the manufacturer's problem. They're not being manufactured, they're special cut.
yeah, there's special sizes, and again, because all of the mechanisms are inside the door, see how you have that door over there, the closers, everything is inside the door, so that is what makes them so much different than your average door.
So it's really what it's mercy.
Lou, on frustration, you know, every letter is capitalized. Will the girls' field hockey team be able to have a home game this fall? Yeah.
I don't know, up until he comes out with a schedule, I don't know. He won't commit to a schedule until he knows when he's gonna have the doors on site. We're just missing 2 more doors, that's all it is. The exterior door and the interior door that goes from the foyer into the meeting room. Those are the only 2 doors that we're waiting.
That's fine.
I feel your frustration.
I'm sure you're ready to go make them yourself.
If I could go and get them, I would go and get them, but what am I getting if they're not me? Or if there's something that needs to be hashed out again, you know, they had meetings in February, I know that they had meetings in February. The first schedule is that doors were supposed to be delivered in June. And here we are in August.
Has anybody ever looked at, you know, notes or something from a discussion that was had with this manufacturer? I'm not trying to, this is not you, I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but it's just like,
Yeah, well, you know, we have an architect who works with them, and if there's any questions on the doors, it goes directly to him, and then he answers back. And everything's been answered, it's just a matter of getting the doors made.
All right.
I'll
Get
drive
me
you
the
to the
information,
office,
I'll.
let's go. I know you feel, bro.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Officers report.
Treasurer CFO Sandy runs quarterly report. Municipal tax collector Agnes Creswell monthly report for July 2014. Municipal Court Administrator Mark Marino monthly report for July 2014. Zoning Code Enforcement Officer Wendy Stefano for the month of July 2014.
May I have a motion to accept the officers reports as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the officers' reports as presented, Mayor.
Do I have a
Second.
Thank you. Any public comment? Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address mayor and council? Please step to the microphone. Sign in on the form provided and state your full name and address. We'd appreciate it if you could limit your comments to approximately 3 minutes.
I'm gonna keep my comment to myself.
Mayor, I don't see anyone.
No? Well, no, I knew, I think he was getting ready to stand up.
He's polite, so there's
I
no
know.
first.
What are the chances?
One meeting.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bruce Patterson, 325 Willow Avenue. These doors, I mean, Bill's like told Tara, see that? Why are they special? Did somebody actually ask that question? Because I'll tell you right now, special means more money, right? We were so hard up for money. I figured maybe the architect would have made them standard, fire rated, double open door.
Well, I mean, when I say special, you just put all of the mechanics inside the door. That's really the only thing that's special about. It's just what he spec'd out. It wasn't like the doors changed, it wasn't like there was any addition, to the building plans or anything like that he thought of afterwards. It was always the way that it was supposed to be built with these doors.
Are they standard size doors?
Yeah.
Size?
Yeah.
In other words, you might be able to, is the frames in, and just the doors aren't here, or?
The frames are in on the kitchen, the 2 bathrooms, and that's about it. The kitchen and the 2 bathrooms. Again, the ones that we're waiting for, the frames and the actual doors themselves are for the exterior as well as the interior door.
I guess there's fire rating involved too.
Yeah, sure, quite sure.
Something tells me, like, you can tell a manufacturer to just ship some standard doors and maybe either give us credit or we'll wait for the regular ones that they retrofit. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm in construction, you're in construction.
You know what, they tell me that, that they're welded frames and everything, so they're not your regular door buck.
The frames are in.
No, right, but I'm talking about these, these frames for these doors are welded, so I don't know if that makes them so much more special, but.
Nah, there's usually 2 types of frame. One's a welded type of frame, and one's a piece of type of frame. I'm not in the meetings. I haven't seen the cuts of the doors, so I don't know what they are about, but it is frustrating. And then to hear it from February.
Well, every meeting, and Noel, the architect, goes through it with them if there's anything that they need for him to contact them, and supposedly there isn't. Everything has been answered now, so it's just a matter of getting these 2 last doors.
I mean, it's kind of like Monday morning quarterback.
I feel the frustration.
So we still haven't done the punch list items, right?
Oh, no.
Because that takes a while too.
Oh, yeah.
But I would assume we can get a DCO and not worry about if things are scarred or unpainted.
If we want to go that route, I just want him done and gone, at this point. But yeah, I mean, a TCO, even things that have been done. One thing that's on my hit list that I always ask these guys, the playground's been installed now for probably over a year. All the mulch that was put down underneath it has sunk about 4 inches, and, when the project is finally finished, I want everything to look like it was just finished yesterday, not a year and a half ago.
We haven't taken ownership of anything.
No,
No.
no. And believe me, there's been a lot of people asking about using the soccer field, and I don't, I've spoken to Tina about this, we don't want a TCO just for that field, because then we take ownership of that field if something happens. I want everything finished before we have a permanent CO. I don't even want a TCO.
But by the way, the outfield you're talking about with the standing water, is it in the exact same place, like left field?
No, this is in center field.
Center field now, okay. Spent $3 million hanging there. 30 feet. Only kidding, okay. The Humvees, I mean, it sounded great. I guess we got them at zero cost. Somehow, zero cost. I didn't pay no cost. All right, I mean, it's interesting. I gotta go down and take a picture of these things. But anyway, just the insurance. Is somebody, can somebody tell me what the insurance cost is now?
That we figure out with,
Insurance.
yeah, and the police.
Well, it's a fleet, we have a fleet, we are insured by a fleet, not by individual vehicle.
When you had, oh, you mean, so there won't be an insurance?
There shouldn't be any more cost than it is if it's minuscule.
All right. It just seems that, the miles per gallon, that's a job. Google that.
$7 miles, so.
Yeah, I know, it could be 5 gallons, from one end to the other.
Get under vehicle, that water's there.
And I noticed, Rolling Valley Sewage Authority, a resolution increasing member flow rights. So I guess they actually, or maybe can't answer this. It looks like the RVSA actually increased.
No, that's just she didn't capture the subject of the letter properly. It's just about, it's not about, it's them suggesting that we do something like that for people who are not properly connected to this storm/sanitary sewer.
Oh, the INI, because I thought, because I read an article in Local Source, and it was interesting, talking about Springfield goes over their flow rate requirements so many times per month, and Garwood, we did a penalty with it a couple times, but I mean, it was like, and the board members were sitting there talking about it, and it's just a matter of, right now, and I'm sure Mr. Lombardo was a rep that one time, but it was like, the usage that we use is like 50 million gallons per year, or something like that. It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay. Well, anyway, roughly, I guess it was 50 million gallons per year, and the new construction that we went through about 8 years ago increased the capacity to like 100 million gallons. So it's like twice the capacity. Oh. And right? Yeah. And yet certain towns are going over their flow rights, and for some reason the board is saying, well, even though our capacity is twice as much, there's still a possibility of the RVSA having to fine the towns for going over the flow rights, even though there's like twice the capacity. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know, maybe
difference, I don't want to play engineer, but there's a difference between the capacity of the plant to treat sewage and the capacity of the trunk lines to handle the sewage. So you could quintuple the plant and have the capacity to treat 5 times as much sewage, but that wouldn't increase everybody's flow rates, depending upon the particular trunk line that you're connected with. Now, we've got various, there's spurs and sub-spurs and so forth, but only 1 meter have so much capacity. So it may, depending upon what the situation is, increasing the capacity of the plant could increase the ability to treat sewage, but the flow rates didn't necessarily go up when they increased the capacity of the plant.
Was there in violation a couple times? It sounds like the trunk line's a problem. Yeah, I know.
They were in violation mostly because in the area closer to the plant, particularly in Rawway, they had combined sewers, and it wasn't a matter, and some of them open, so it wasn't a matter of capacity in the trunk lines, and all the water came rushing to the plant, and the plant didn't have the capacity to treat it when they had weather events, and that's really what caused that whole lawsuit, because essentially in those situations, the overflow went into the Rowley
It was
River.
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago or so.
All right, I don't know what.
We don't go over that much though, I mean, I don't mean to.
No, Garwood's in practice.
I don't read the reports as much as I used to, but Garwood goes over a couple of days a year. Some of these other towns are over, 50 days, and I think there's a couple that are like 200.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Patterson?
Yeah, Sheriff Froelich had passed away, and there's a moment of silence for him, but he was the sheriff, and there's a sheriff's department at the county, there's also a county police department. With his passing, and it's sad that he passed, because he served the public for 55 years, but now, Union County has a sheriff's department and a county police department. 21 counties, out of 21 counties, Union County is the only one with these dual departments. All other counties, and Bergen County was the last one last year that decided to, I don't want to call it merge, but they combined both departments, and I think their savings is like $3 million. But now with Sheriff Froelich's passing, it seems like now would be the most advantageous time to maybe pass a resolution having the county consider merging, because we are the last county to have these dual departments. And the public on occasion has brought that up at the freeholder meetings. Not me, by the way. There are other people that go to these meetings. And they kind of like dismiss the suggestion. But here we are at the most advantageous threshold, because Sheriff Froelich has passed. What they're doing, and I don't want to get political, but I mean, obviously, Assemblyman Cryan's name is being floated to replace him. This is a constitutional office, which means it would be an elected office, and Assemblyman Cryan just may step into that. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you've listened to me, but I'm not going to say anything. But I mean, he's got major baggage.
Mayor?
And the problem with him, go ahead.
I'll go so far, Bruce.
Okay. The problem with him, he doesn't even have law enforcement experience. So.
Bruce, that's a county.
But here, I am.
Mayor, can we go back to Bruce's original suggestion there in terms of the resolution?
Yes.
Are you certain that Union County is the last one to have both sheriff and police?
Yes.
Mayor, Bruce has prepared a draft, it's a book, but he has prepared a draft resolution that we spoke of earlier. And I would have no objection whatsoever to working with him again to put something like that together to see if a resolution could be prepared to submit to his council for their consideration. If you stop talking about the politics of Union County, I would look favorably upon working with you on that.
You just for tonight talk about it, not talk about it.
Just for tonight. I don't want to
Okay, deal. But I do appreciate it, that this would be most advantageous, could save a couple $1 million.
Oh, I understand that.
Bergen
Sure.
County, was a larger
And
county.
I recognize I'm not going to lay everybody off tomorrow, okay? But,
No.
that certainly would be, if it is indeed a cost savings, if indeed other 20 of the 21 counties have done that, Mayor, I think we will get to that, because what's the percentage of our taxes that go to the county, Bruce?
20, about that, about
I think it was more than 20, but we
Of
can,
our taxes?
yeah, of garbage taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 320.
20%? Well, that's a sizable amount, if we can reduce that in any way. I'd work with you on that, Bruce.
I'll type something up and get it over to you along with the other book. This one will be.
Yeah, make this one shorter, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Just
you.
a magazine.
Anyone else? There being no one else, we'll close the public comment portion of the meeting. The consent agenda. Are there any resolutions anyone wants deleted from the consent agenda?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like resolution 14-253 to be off the consent agenda.
May I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.